Oke, selamat pagi dan terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu yang sudah join di acara EIKON Technology webinar pagi ini. Kami akan segera mulai untuk acara pagi ini dan bagi yang sudah join, kita tunggu beberapa menit ke depan ya. Oke, baik. Jadi hari ini kita akan mempresentasikan, memberikan informasi bagaimana atau seberapa pentingnya employee engagement dan juga bagaimana leverage digital technology atau digital workplace. Jadi kali ini kita mengundang narasumber kita dari LumApps dengan Benoit. Beliau akan mempresentasikan mengenai bagaimana kita bisa engage dengan employee atau dengan rekan kerja kita dengan lebih positif, dengan lebih efektif, dan bagaimana kita bisa mempunyai sebuah portal atau wadah di mana kita bisa berkolaborasi dan berkomunikasi di internal organisasi kita. Sebelumnya perkenalkan, mungkin bagi yang sudah tahu, kami dari EIKON Technology, kami adalah Google Partner sejak tahun 2010 dan kali ini kami sangat excited gitu ya untuk bisa bekerja sama dengan LumApps. Kami sudah bekerja sama dan kolaborasi sejak tahun kemarin 2018. Jadi kita akan mencoba untuk mensosialisasikan apa yang bisa menjadi benefit buat perusahaan atau organisasi Bapak dan Ibu. Baik, saya akan pass over ke Benoit untuk langsung masuk ke materi presentasinya. Benoit, hand over to you. I have made the introduction and you can get started on the presentation.
So, hi everyone, thank you very much for EIKON Technology for hosting that event. My name is Benoit Rabrod. I'm the head of EPAC Business Development for LumApps. I'm based in Sydney, Australia. And today we're going to be talking about digital workplace and how you can leverage that digital workplace to increase employee engagement. And why this is important for your organization. So these are the key topics we're going to go through today. We'll spend probably 30 minutes in going through what employee engagement really means, how you can actually engage with your employees today with some of the features that a LumApps portal can provide you with. We'll go through a bit of a demonstration and then we'll talk a bit more about what LumApps is as a company. So to start with, I wanted to talk to you about what employees engagement really means. So let's start with some context. It's important to understand what engagement is and why you should actually invest in it. Employee engagement is a state of functioning in an organization. When employees are actually engaged, they feel more motivated and they contribute better to your company's success. They're more inclined to provide the best at work and to make additional efforts to reach their goals, their objectives. So fully engaged employees will be better motivated, they'll contribute better to your success. And these are the things that you can actually measure when you have a product like LumApps installed in your company. A few to start with. 22%, 1 out of 5 employees, workers, are likely to change in a year. It's a recent survey that has been reached by Career Builder in 2018. It's a very high figure, and the question is, how do you address that within your organization? What does it mean for your organization? Can that be through engagement, and what sort of features can you put in place to make sure this engagement is strong? Same with another survey which is quite interesting, where 70% of the US workers are not or feel not engaged at work. It's a very strong figure as well. Yes, it is for the US market, but how does that translate to your organization, to your country? And what sort of tools can actually, again, put in place to make sure that this number actually is significantly in your company. That employees want recognition. They want to be able to. They want to see, and you to see, and their colleagues, how they're performing in the organization. They want to use a stimulating environment. They want to make sure that they are challenged or they can learn something from the digital workplace. If an intranet is great or doesn't address regular questions, they're likely not to go there to find information and to collaborate better. So they want recognition, they want stimulating environment. Obviously, the design of this workplace, of this intranet, needs to be great, and that's also some of the things that LumApps can offer. They want the tool to be efficient, also managed by LumApps, and I'll show you that during the demo. And finally, in order to better engage with the organization, they want content that is personalized. So they want to receive information that's relevant to them in their day-to-day tasks, relevant to their profile, and not just generic information which is addressable to everyone. So that's basically what your employees need to feel engaged, and that's what LumApps can actually provide you with. How to engage your employees? Again, by discussing with our customers and by LumApps, which is the leaders in terms of digital workplace today, we've identified 3 main areas where you can leverage this engagement. First of all, and we addressed that just before in the previous slide, your employee needs a pleasantly designed area. They want to be able to find information easily, and they want something which is fully personalized. So that's basically what comes down to a user-friendly digital workplace, a user-friendly environment, a portal. So that's the first thing to address. The second one is to make sure you give a voice to your employee. Make sure that you give them the tools so that they can talk about their challenges, talk about their successes, and so on. So you want to give them the tool to do that. That's the social part of LumApps, and we'll come to that as well. The third one is to be able to provide with dedicated HR communities where your employees can find resources that will help them to grow within the company and to also retain the valuable talents. So these are the 3 main areas: user-friendly digital workplace, providing a voice to your employees, and providing with an HR community to your employees. The 3 elements, this is what we're going to insist on today with LumApps. With regards to a user-friendly digital workplace, we've identified a few things in here, and one thing that comes to mind is the idea to put everything into one simple platform, one single hub, where your employees can access everything they need to do their job. A list, which may not be exhaustive, but basically a list of the key things that employees want, is the ability to reach out to corporate and local news, to access easily knowledge and information about your products, about how to do this and that within the organization, having a quick access to people and expertise, being able to create social communities as well, whether it's around a specific project or even something which is not directly work-related, soccer team or any other social component that may help your employees to better communicate together. Being able to connect to your productivity suite. So whether you are on G Suite for email, for documents and so on, or whether you are on Office 365, LumApps will help you connect your digital workplace with your productivity suites to surface, to give access easily to all documents, email, calendars, and so on. Being able to connect quickly to all the other professional apps that you use in the company, whether it's other type of calendars or collaborative project management tools. And LumApps will give quick access to those professional apps, as well as all the calendars that you may be using in your organization. So having everything at your fingertips, making a user-friendly digital workplace, being able to synchronize all this information within one portal. We also want to be able to provide with users to an intuitive user experience. It starts with a solution, just like LumApps, that can actually provide you with all the tools to recreate your corporate branding. Lots of flexibility within the design of LumApps will help you create your logos, your fonts, your colors, all the designs of that you need to show to your employees so that they feel at home within the interface. We'll look at the advanced design capabilities, which also don't require a coding experience to be set, and that's very important. So all your team leaders will be able to create nice and good-looking pages very easily. And finally, that goes with content personalization. You want to be able to create content which will be relevant to someone in sales, and another type of content which is relevant to someone in finance, and within the same portal. So we'll look at how we can address that as well. With a user-friendly digital workplace, you want to provide content for everyone and everywhere. LumApps is very, very flexible. It's currently available in 10 languages and on the web, and it can also be available in six different languages online. We're still adding more languages as we grow, but you have this level of flexibility for your employees. Obviously, LumApps can be accessed from anywhere to connect all your employees across the globe. That's flexibility, obviously, of having a cloud platform. And we also provide you with all the tools to make LumApps mobile. We've got iOS and Android apps that can be installed by your users. And if they don't want to install the apps for whatever reason, LumApps is user-friendly anyway, in the sense that it will adapt to the screen of the user. So with all this flexibility, we make the digital workplace and the engagement available for everyone and everywhere. The second thing we've highlighted just before was the ability to give a voice to your employees. So this is very important, and this is achieved by providing communities, the ability for your employees to create communities and to communicate through those communities. So this is very much a social platform within the portal. It lets your employees express themselves by writing posts, commenting on posts, answering questions, sharing more content, submitting and voting for ideas, planning meetings and synchronize with your calendars. All that can be addressed within communities. I'll show you that during the demo. Being able to provide feedback. Think about a newcomer in your organization. You want to make sure that this person is happy in the very first days of their integration within the company. So you want them to be able to express their feelings, and by quickly creating some little surveys or a questionnaire, you can actually test the feelings towards your organization. That's an opportunity for your employees to give their feedback. This example is very simple, but that could be something a bit more that requires a bit more content. But at the end of the day, it's an opportunity for your employees to feel that they are listened to and that they have a real voice and a presence in your organization. In order to give a voice to your employees, you want to be able to connect them and make sure they can collaborate together easily. The idea of LumApps is to create a hub that provides you with your employees with information, with collaborative tools, and to social platform. So all the topics of interest in a LumApps environment for your digital workplace will be organized by social, around business, around projects. And again, we'll show you how it all works in the demo. We talked about the employee engagement from an HR perspective, which, as I said before, can actually be addressed from the very beginning when an employee joins your organization. During the onboarding process, you can actually very much engage from day one and set the expectations for your employees from their very first day. So you can create through a LumApps platform tools to remind employees of important dates, just like moving into other teams or other open enrollments. Give them access to FAQ or employees' answers on critical questions. Display an internal job board. Post surveys to collect employee feedback, etc., etc. So there's plenty of things that will help your employee feel better from the beginning. And that's obviously not supposed to end just at the onboarding process, but towards the life of your employees within the organization, you will be able to provide them with a constantly updated employee directory, display HR processes, questionnaire, etc., etc. So there's plenty of use cases that will follow the employee during their life in your organization. The employee engagement from an HR perspective comes also with trainings and job boards. You can nurture your employees to help them always improve more by offering different training sessions. That's true for HR, that's true for sales, that's true for finance. And if you constantly update that content for everyone, they will feel that they have something to learn from consistently. And they will evolve better in your organization as well, and they will network to get the best talent around. Finally, LumApps will come with a set of analytics dedicated to not just a simple website, but to a proper intranet, so that you can check how you're actually interacting with your workforce in general, but also with more details. And you will be able to set up KPIs to monitor your platform. So I'm told that my voice is probably a bit going a bit fast, maybe. Okay, so I think we're good now. All right. Sorry about that. I'll try to be a bit slower then. So LumApps comes with a series of analytics to track how your employees interact with your LumApps platform, interact with your digital workplace. You're going to be able to check if they are coming to check for content, for information regularly. If they're not, what sort of content they're currently looking at more than anything else. What are the sites or the pages that are more active? And with all that, you start building your knowledge about your workforce and the thing that they are interested in. And you can then rework on your content and always more and more important information for them. Increase the collaboration, the exchange of information, and create some specific KPI for your organization to make sure that your teams, departments, locations are communicating well together. So let's have a quick look at how LumApps look like. So I'm just going to switch to a demo site now. Give it a few seconds for it to load, if that's still a bit behind. What you're looking at here is an example of a LumApps platform. Everything that you can see on the screen is configurable to reflect your company identity and to and your branding. So you will be able to configure your fonts, your colors, your logos, and also everything that appears in this page. One thing that is very important in LumApps is the profiling of people. based on the profile of each individual within your organization, you will be able to provide them with content which is relevant. So it starts with all the attributes that you can give to an individual in your organization. So here I'm logged in as Mark, and Mark has different attributes such as a title, a location, an email, and so on. And when someone is posting something in the future, they will be able to use those tags to direct the information to the right person. So for example, Mark will be likely to understand better information written to him about the state where he's located, or something that relates to sales because he's part of the sales team. So the list of attributes you can give to an employee is limited. You can decide to pre-configure some, and you can also decide to leave fields empty for your employees to fill or to add information if they want to. And also based on your users' profiles, they will also be able to access an organization for themselves or for their colleagues. Once you have set up the profile of each user, let me come back to the home page now. Once you have set up the profile of each user, they will be accessing different type of content. In this demo database, we have 3 specific content. We've got the information content, we've got access to the collaboration suite, and then you have the social platform. In this case, it starts with the information piece. We've decided at the beginning of that page to put information, in this case, which is relevant to everyone, an information carousel, which basically drives the company general communication, the top-down communication, all the executive announcements, the company values, etc. So all these specific type of communication will always remain, in this case at least, at the top of the page for everyone to read first. And then as we scroll down, we're going to have a content which is specific in this case to Mark here. So Mark, as I mentioned before, is in sales, so he will receive predominantly information which is tagged as sales or relating to either his area or an area he was interested to hear from, right? So he will receive this information. He can also receive here information from communities that he decided to follow internally. So that's for the information element. Based on his profile as well, you have the ability to give Mark with specific access to specific information. Here, for example, you have access to a list of job offers which are relating to his team. All the job offers are relating to sales. That's going to give an opportunity for Mark to share those job offers to specific colleagues around him or as part of his network. Another typical example is the addition of a little widget here to alert on maybe a conference that's taking place for the sales team next week after. Also, quick links to specific apps that are of use for the sales team. So we took the example of Salesforce or any other thing that may be relevant to your organization. Obviously, that's something that's easily configurable, sorry. And by just a click, you will be able to access directly, even with single sign-on, the content within those applications. Stopping by the user directory, that's something that our customers usually deploy because it's quite useful, and it's usually missing in most intranets elsewhere. So the user directory in LumApps is something you can search by different attributes, by groups, by name, obviously. And if you were to select a specific employees, you will obviously access all their details, at least the ones that are public. And also, you will be able to quickly send an email or to start video chat, depending on the platform you're on, whether it's Office 365 or whether it's G Suite. Coming back to the home page, we have here, so we talked about the content which is specific to Mark. As we scroll down, you get access to your productivity suite. In this particular case, this one is connected to G Suite, so you will see your Google. If you are using Office 365, you will be able to access your Microsoft Space exactly the same way. You will have your calendar, you will have your OneDrive, in this case it's My Drive, and you will have access to your latest emails. So it's very important. Think again about LumApps as an opportunity to put everything in one single hub, one single page. Today, more and more organizations are deploying more and more professional apps within for their employees. So it's always a bit of a challenge to go and click and find through different tabs the information employees are after. So by consolidating everything into one portal, you make their life a lot easier. Keeping scrolling down, and we get to the third space within LumApps, which is the social component. We call that here My Communities. Obviously, you can name it the way you want, but it's very much the social component here. And what's very different from any other social platform is that the social platform in LumApps has been created, it has been designed for a work environment. So very different from something like Facebook Workplace, for example, where the information will pile up during the day and where executive messages can be hidden directly behind the latest result from the football team. In LumApps, when you get access to a specific community, the information is organized. First of all, you have on the left-hand side, at least on this design, you have an explanation of what this community is about. You can decide to follow the community. You can decide to receive a particular notification as well. But more importantly is the organization of information, which is always clear, and you can always come back to any information to here. You can create posts, obviously, but you can also create posts that are questions to be asked to your colleagues. And just to give you of how this is all organized, if a question that you've asked is still unanswered, it will actually still stand at the top of your screen. And that's basically how we make this organization of information relevant to people and enterprise ready. Obviously, when someone creates a post here, it will be able, just like in any social platform, put some content, add medias, whether it's videos, images, and so on, be able to create links either to in external web pages, but also to documents that may be stored in your Drive in Google or in your OneDrive in Office 365. But very much just like as you type, it's a WYSIWYG component, so it will show you exactly what you will be posting when you're ready. In LumApps, you can create some specific page. I mentioned that during the slide deck. You can create menus for specific departments. Human resource is obviously one of the one that usually quite used amongst our customer base, and it's an opportunity to give here access to plenty of content. Talk about the new arrival in your organization, the latest job offers, the latest posts that have been provided, and also specific information, specific documentation that is relevant to HR. So it could be a list of questionnaires or forms to request annual leave, or to request additional IT components, laptop, telephone, etc. So everything can be accessible from this page. And again, this is an opportunity for your employees not to go to send email to HR to get access to specific information, but to know exactly where to go to find this information. Talking about finding information, one very important component is the search. Again, think of LumApps as a central hub your employees to find the information thereafter. If I'm actually typing a very simple word, very generic word in LumApps, you can actually organize the responses by type of content. But more importantly, you will see that in this case, by typing the word sales, it will surface all the posts, all the news that are that contain these elements. It will also show you all the people that are currently in the sales team. It will show you other apps, but also it will get you to documents that may be stored in G Suite or in OneDrive, depending on the platform. But it will be able to find that information because it's tightly integrated either in G Suite or either in Office 365. So it's a very powerful tool that saves a lot of time to your employees to quickly find the information thereafter without having to send emails all around or to ask people physically in different departments. A quick note on the setup. So I mentioned before that LumApps is a very easy tool to configure. And if you have the right to access the configuration panel, maybe you're a team leader, maybe you are someone involved in HR or in other key team within the organization, you will get access to this little cogwheel at the top of the screen. And if you do access, if you click in here, you can edit the content, for example, of that page. And by editing the content, you will see that it's very, very easily to, very organized, easy to access. So for example, if you were to select that cell, in this cell, you can add easily pre-configured widgets. So for example, if you want to create a content that quickly introduce a calendar or a drive or OneDrive, or quickly introduce a form or any other thing. So all this is pre-configured, so you don't need to spend too much time trying to configure or to code anything in here. It's quite easy. If you want to change the other things, you can easily take a widget and move it by just dragging and drop it anywhere you want in this page. You can here on the left-hand side of your screen change the settings, the styles, you know, basically all everything you can see here is configurable from the left side and doesn't require any sort of coding experience to do that. So it's quite easy, quite flexible, and it's for everybody to use within the organization, provided they have the right to do so. So that's in a nutshell what LumApps is about as a digital workplace to help you better engage with your employees at any point in time. I mentioned, and I couldn't show you that here, but obviously all this content is actually accessible from a mobile as well, whether you have the app, Android or iOS, or whether you just want to access it from a tablet, for example. It will recognize your screen and adapt to the size of your screen as well. I will come back now to the really LumApps is. So a few words about our organization. We are a global company. We've been in the market for a bit more than 5 years now. We have offices all around the globe. I'm currently based in Sydney, as we said at the beginning of the session, and I will cover Southeast Asia as well. We want to be a very innovative company. 50% of our workforce is dedicated to make the product better and to create more features. So we work very closely with our customers, and we make sure that they always get ahead of everyone in this market the latest trend features to them. We are scaling quickly. We've raised just a couple of months ago another set of funding, so we are now set to become the digital workplace of choice for the next few years, 10, 20, who says? So we definitely here to accompany you guys for the long run.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Benoit. Can you share your screen again? I think it got, it says loading.
Okay, I'll try again. In just 1 second, I'm just trying to share the screen again. Just 1 second. Share my full screen. And I hope this is better now.
Okay.
Yes. Is it good now? Was it just the last screen? Should I come back? Should I come back to the previous screen, or is that?
What was the last? Can you go back?
Yeah, I was just briefly talking about I was just finishing the demonstration, so I wasn't sharing any other type of content. But yeah, I was just talking about how our global presence, how innovative we want to be as an organization by dedicating 50% of our employees to product development. And also making sure that you understand that we are here today to last with our recent funding that puts you in very good position for next for the future. In a nutshell, based on everything that we've said today, probably one takeaway for you is to really figure how LumApps becomes a single hub for all your employees, providing with a single platform which is across a corporate portal, which is probably the more traditional way to communicate with employees. But on top of that, on top of this corporate portal, it will come with a complete social platform and the tight integration with your collaboration suite, Office 365, G Suite, depending on what you're using, but all that within one single platform to see the way your employees communicate with each other and engage better with the organization. A few of our customers here, as you can see, we've reached just a few days ago more than 3.5 million users globally. You're certainly familiar with some of our customers on the screen here. Probably in your region, the largest maybe Tokopedia. What's important to notice is that we do not work with any specific industry. We are across any industry. We have success in retail, in manufacturing, in media. So it's not a matter of which industry you're on. It's a matter of how you want to communicate, what sort of image you give as an organization, what image you want to give to your employees, how do you want to engage with your employees for better results. And we're moving to probably a list of questions maybe from you, and we have another 15 minutes. So let's make it interactive. I'm happy to answer any question here. Obviously, this session is recorded, so happy to add to this recording down the track, sharing information more with Johannes. I'm waiting for your questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Benoit. I think it's very interesting on how employees can interact with each other. So, Bapak dan Ibu yang sudah melihat presentasi dari Benoit, mungkin apabila ada pertanyaan boleh disampaikan lewat chat panel. Saya akan membantu untuk menjembatani untuk pertanyaannya. Silakan Bapak dan Ibu. So Benoit, I think it's very important that right nowadays we have different applications, and I believe we need the employee to be very engaging with each other, so the company can innovate better, I believe. And LumApps is one of the solutions to put information and things together so that employees can be more productive in finding information, or maybe if they need some information, they can post it there, and then other employees or their peers can help each other.
That's right. Right. And again, the flexibility of LumApps will adapt to any organization. So that's very much what I want everyone to keep in mind here. Is there any questions from the audience?
Not yet. Apakah ada pertanyaan dari Bapak dan Ibu? Dari Ibu Nini, yes, Bu Nini is asking if LumApps is available in Indonesia, and the answer is yes, Bu Nini, it's available. If you would like to explore more, we can discuss further at some other times. We can set up a schedule to discuss further based on your needs or your requirements. And it's integrated with G Suite directly, so you can add your Google Drive folders within the LumApps. You can integrate with your calendars, and then, as mentioned in the presentation, you can also have a different access based on the departments or on the roles set up within the LumApps. Oke, dari Pak Surhusni, kalau sudah berlangganan G Suite, apakah otomatis dapat LumApps atau terpisah? Jadi LumApps ini aplikasi terpisah atau aplikasi add-on, Pak. Jadi kita apabila membutuhkan kolaboratif platform atau portal gitu ya, yang bisa digunakan untuk internal, ini adalah salah satu opsi yang bisa ditambahkan di G Suite-nya Bapak. Benor, I hope you don't mind if I explain in bahasa.
Yeah, no problem, of course. Just one more on the G Suite integration. So it's definitely integrated with G Suite, and in case it will be set in your Google Cloud platform. If you are on Office 365, the same will apply. It will connect with your Office 365 environment, and in this case, LumApps will be set up on Azure. But it's exactly the same setup.
Ya, kalau ada cabang di daerah terpencil, apakah LumApps bisa running dengan bandwidth yang ala kadarnya? Jadi experience-nya itu adalah web browsing, Pak. Jadi kalau misalnya Bapak bisa mengakses Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, LumApps itu juga serupa, Pak. Jadi apabila Bapak di kantor cabang itu bisa browsing website atau akses G Suite, harusnya tidak ada masalah dengan mengakses LumApps juga.
Some of the questions are coming in.
Yes. Ada pertanyaan yang lain mungkin dari Bapak atau Ibu? Oke, baik. Sepertinya pertanyaannya sudah terjawab ya. Benor, I think what we are going to do is we will send an email to the participant, and they can sign up for a trial from the LumApps website, correct?
Correct. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
For that, it's quite easy. So we'll give you the indications to do that. Absolutely. And also, I guess maybe we can send the recorded webinar for the people who want to go through the presentation, and maybe we can actually share the slides of today.
Perfect. Ada pertanyaan, there are more questions here. Is it possible to integrate with the existing application? Benor, maybe you want to cover that?
existing applications. So if we're talking about professional apps, so any other, I don't know, project management systems, or you have the ability to connect simple ways to create a link from LumApps to the app that you want to link to. So that's what I was showing you before. If you want to go a step further, we can actually, with APIs, we can, or iframes maybe, we can actually synchronize information between two systems. Let me give an example. We have a customer that wanted to display reports or graphs that are generated by their Salesforce environment, and we were able, with some customization, to pull that report, pull that graph, and place it into LumApps just for the sales team to read. So that's the kind of integration we can create.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Ibu Nini ada pertanyaan, aplikasi add-on berarti ada tambahan biaya? Ya, memang ada tambahan biaya. Mengenai harga dari LumApps ini cukup fleksibel. Nanti mungkin bisa berdasarkan requirement dari perusahaan masing-masing dan juga jumlah usernya. Tapi we are open for discussion in regards to the pricing, and we are very flexible on that. Next question, apakah ada API yang terbuka bisa disambungkan dengan aplikasi yang kita punya? Benoit, maybe you can reconfirm this. I believe LumApps has APIs which can be used for the integration with other applications.
We do have an API. It's public. I can actually share the links for those who are interested. I think the link is actually api.lumapps.com. You can check online, so it's all public, and it can be used, yes, to connect with other tools. So then, I mean, I can only talk to you about the LumApps side, whether the application you have in mind has API. That's something we need to check as well. But in principle, yes, you can use this API to connect with other tools that you have.
Perfect. Thank you very much. How long is the implementation for the LumApps?
That really depends on the size of your company and what you want. So it basically, I think the largest deployment we've done was for this large retail supermarket customer in France with 150,000 users. And I think that took probably around 7 months to deploy to different teams. The vast majority of case, we deploy LumApps in just within 2 months. If you have, it really depends on the content you want to place here, and if you have the resources internally to help create the content, if you want either your partner to run that for you. But I would say on average between 1 and 3 months, depending on the size of your company.
Perfect, thank you. Jadi Ibu Ratih, mungkin nanti bisa kita discuss lebih lanjut ya. Jadi untuk proses implementasi itu nanti bisa kita assess kembali berdasarkan requirements dan juga jumlah karyawan atau employees di dalam organisasi. Untuk Pak Rudi, mengenai isu keamanan data, Benoit, we have a question from Pak Rudi. How about security and data privacy of the company? Is it safe? Can you provide some clarification on that?
Sure, that's a very good question. Thank you for asking. Let's take the example of Google. If your company is in Google, but the same apply to Office 365, first of all, your users will be using single sign capabilities to access LumApps. So whether they log in with their G Suite login or with their Office 365, this is how they will be accessing the content within LumApps. So that's a security, the first level of security. With regards to the information which is stored on LumApps, if you are using G Suite, your G Suite instance will be securely hosted on GCP, Google Cloud Platform, with all the security requirements that you know about that platform. And the same on Office 365, your instance of LumApps will be hosted on Azure, which has also some of the best security components in the marketplace today. So I should have mentioned that, but for those amongst you guys, LumApps is the only intranet actively recommended by Google for G Suite. One of the reasons for that is because it is secure and is being thoroughly tested by Google previously, and is constantly tested by Google. And you'll be surprised to hear that Google themselves are using LumApps as an intranet for specific portals. So it is definitely a safe product. Your data is safe in LumApps and on the platform you're using. And that's the reason why lots of the largest organizations in the world, such as Veolia, such as even Tokopedia in Indonesia, are actually using LumApps.
Oke, thank you Benoit. Semoga menjawab ya pertanyaan mengenai keamanan data. Nah, next question. What about the regulation that requires data has to reside in Indonesia, for example, for fintech or financial company? So Benoit, you mentioned that LumApps is hosted in Azure platform for Microsoft,
Yes.
and GCP for Google. Is that correct?
That's
Okay.
correct.
And would it be possible to locate where the data resides in the GCP or Microsoft Azure? Because Google had announced in the Cloud Summit last year that they will have data center in Jakarta, in Indonesia. I'm just wondering, and probably this will answer the question, if it is possible to allocate the data in the region that we can appoint to.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's probably a conversation to be asked to either Google or Microsoft locally. I did hear about the same, and it's not just Jakarta. Actually, Google has deployed. If we take the example of Google, they have deployed other data centers across Southeast Asia. And I know that Microsoft has different rules around data localizations. But I think it's a matter of where you want your data sets to be hosted, and that's very much a question. Not so much we would be installing LumApps in the instance that you want, but it's more a question for Google or for Microsoft to answer, whether it's possible to have an application like LumApps hosted in your country in the data set that's provided by your provider.
Okay, thank you. And next question is in the slide mention that we can measure the employee engagement, and one of them is regarding the KPI. Is the question would be, how do we measure the KPI of the employee engagement? Is there some sort of analytics or reports within the LumApps to show that numbers?
That's correct. We've released a new set of analytics built in LumApps by November 2018, so just a couple of months ago. And those analytics are very much set for an intranet. So you will be able to use some tools to measure which part of the intranet is the most seen by your employees, what sort of content resonate the most, what teams are the most active, who are the main contributors to compost, and so on. So it's all the tools that can help you understand who are the teams that are most engaged and why, and what content is actually relevant to your employees. So you will be able definitely to measure all that. And we are constantly adding to this analytics portal or platform rather, so that because we want to make sure that our employees have the portal for their employees. So the KPIs are there. There's a list that I can probably provide you if you're interested. But so you want to measure again with those.
Okay, thank you for the answer for that. Any other questions? Ada pertanyaan lagi dari Bapak dan Ibu? I think we have passed the hour. Now it's 5 minutes over 11. I think we can continue the communication and the discussion. We will send everybody an email and as well as the slide presentation, including the recording when it's ready. Please feel free to give us an email, contact us if you have any questions. Hopefully this is useful for everybody and be considered to be deployed in your organizations. If you have any follow-up question, we would be happy to discuss with you further. A couple last questions. KPI online, yes, Bu Nini, jadi KPI atau reportingnya itu sudah disediakan dan ada di dalam LumApps portal, jadi nanti bisa direview dari reporting tersebut. Ada minimal jumlah berlangganan. The question is there is any minimum users, number of users to subscribe to this LumApps? Pak Sul Husni, as mentioned, we are very flexible in the pricing. We can discuss on your requirements and the number of users that you currently have on your G Suite or Office 365, and then we will customize the implementation as well as the pricing specific for your organizations. Ada pertanyaan yang lain dari Bapak atau Ibu sebelum kita akhiri webinar kita pagi ini? Oke, jadi saya rasa webinar pagi ini cukup interaktif ya. Terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu yang sudah berpartisipasi. Apabila nanti ada pertanyaan, boleh nanti menghubungi ke kami. Ada nomor telepon yang kami tera dan juga alamat email. Jadi jangan segan untuk kontak ke kami ya. Nanti kami akan follow up via email, baik maupun lewat telepon juga. Terima kasih atas partisipasinya, and Benoit, thank you very much for your time to present. If you could stay on the line for a couple of minutes, that would be good. Jadi kita akan akhiri webinar pagi ini. Terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu, dan selamat beraktivitas kembali.